Hello, fellow historians. I'm Andrea Henderson, and I have to be honest, I really struggled with this one, and I'm probably going over the time limit, but here goes. These texts, Walsh on Aristotle, Kennedy on Cicero, and Rosenthal-Pubel's Reflections on Ancient and Modern, they each tackle liberty and freedom in a way that challenges how I think, or maybe should think, about freedom and governance today. Walsh's Aristotle conceives freedom not as doing whatever we please, but as the capacity to direct ourselves toward ends that our reason deems worthy. Eleutheria, freedom, it's moral and political. It's not just metaphysical. The truly free person isn't ruled by impulse, but by rational self-direction. To Aristotle, freedom means living by right reason, ordering one's life around the good and possessing both intellectual and moral virtues to recognize and pursue the good. The slavish life, by contrast, seeks lesser goods, such as wealth or pleasure or comfort. And while Aristotle's world was steeped in hierarchy, like slave versus owner or laborer versus employer, Walsh reminds us not to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We can still ask, what does it mean to live freely today, governed by reason rather than appetite? Kennedy's essay on Cicero and Libertas pushes back on Isaiah Berlin's famous split between positive and negative liberty. The Roman idea of liberty was more complex. Cicero saw libertas as the capacity to possess rights, possible only when one isn't subject to another's domination. So liberty required both personal rights and civic order. Within the Roman Republic, libertas was constantly contested. The optimates and the populares, two groups that both claimed to defend it, even as they disagreed about who truly embodied it. Cicero sided with the optimates, believing liberty without order devolved into chaos. Too much liberty, he warned, breeds tyranny. For Cicero, liberty wasn't mere license, it was ordered liberty, balanced by dignitas and auctoritas. Without those virtues, freedom collapses into anarchy. His vision suggests that freedom depends on moral structure, concord, and the restraint of power within both the citizen and the state. I'm reminded of that old Mick Jagger and Keith Richards lyric, "I'm free to do what I want any old time." I'm not going to sing it to you because I can't sing, but I'm free to do what I want. Okay, I can't sing. The ancients would have called that the tyranny of the passions. Rosenthal-Pubel's Ancient and Modern article contrasts Greek and modern notions of freedom. Negative liberty, as Berlin called it, or the ability to do what we desire without interference, may sound like freedom, but the Greeks, Aristotle again, warned that unchecked desire enslaves us. True freedom, they argued, is self-mastery. We are free only to the extent that we have acquired virtue. Rosenthal-Pubel writes that without moral foundation, liberty degenerates into license and eventually tyranny. Pubel quoted from Politics, or Aristotle put it bluntly, quote, "Liberty to do whatever one likes cannot guard against the evil which is in every man's character," close quote. From a biblical perspective, the language shifts, but the idea persists. Slavery to sin is slavery to the passions, and the Greeks locate liberation in disciplined reason, while Christianity finds it in grace through Jesus Christ. Both insist that freedom must be moral to endure. Rosenthal-Pubel triggered so many memories for me. I often asked my students, who owns you? Who knows what's best for you right now? And I might get answers like my parents, or my doctor knows best, or my teachers. And sometimes I would get the me, I know what's best for me. John Stuart Mill said, over himself, over his own body and mind, the individual is sovereign. But are we? In today's society, if society requires certain conditions, let's say medical mandates, to participate fully, where does sovereignty end and civic obligation begin? That tension between individual freedom and public good isn't abstract. It's where liberty lives and or dies. And what about the good itself? If each individual defines good privately, can a republic agree on what's worth defending? As Hamlet said, Shakespeare's Hamlet said, "There is nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so." Rosenthal-Pubel warns that relativism, the idea that no value is absolute, feeds the totalitarian temptation. When nothing is objectively good, power rushes in to fill the vacuum. Disorders of the soul, he writes, beget disorders of the commonwealth. Burke said it this way, men are qualified for civil liberty in exact proportion to their disposition to put moral chains upon their appetites. The fewer chains we forge from within, the more government must impose from without. Thomas Jefferson echoed this balance. Liberty is unobstructed action according to our will. But rightful liberty is unobstructed action within the limits drawn around us by the equal rights of others. And as my father used to tell me, the price of freedom is risk. To be free means accepting that others are too, and that sometimes their freedom will make us uncomfortable. I think the idea was to teach me about the trade-off between liberty and safety, both politically and personally. But inherent in this message is a level of personal responsibility and a value of courage over comfort that I connected with the learning we've had on this topic these last few weeks. Thank you for watching.